Hey guys, and welcome to the Rebirth Now cast, where I'm going to be talking about comic books. This is where I get to talk about all the comics that come out this week. I want to do a video. I've been doing weekly videos of showing you new comics that come out. Just to talk about it. I'm like, why don't I just make it into a whole video where I talk about everything and just get it all out in one video? And I thought it'd be fun, more fun that way, and kind of make it. I don't know if it would be considered a podcast. Maybe I do call it the Rebirth Now cast, and it would be a weekly thing. I'll try to do weekly. If I'm not here, stuff happens. These will be showing you stuff that came out this week, or depending on when this goes up, if it comes out like today's Sunday, if it comes out tomorrow or something, it'll be for last week's comics. So get it out of it, or what you may, but this is what I'm going to be doing to talk about the new comic, because I like talking about them, and I want people to go and buy these comics. The comic books are cool, and I want the medium to be supported in this way, so we should go out and buy these comics. So in this podcast, whatever you want to call it, we're going to be talking about comic books that I personally get. If anyone that's particular come out that I feel like I want to mention, or by any of the Marvel DC, I'll mention. Mostly when it comes to indie and other comics, unless it's one I'm getting, I'm going to probably stay out of it unless there's something particular. And we might move on, and we might, if there's not a lot that comes out this week, we might talk about other things, if there's anything else I want to talk about. But today we have these comics, we're going to talk about these. And I don't know if there's anything else important came out this week, but we'll go through these, starting with the indie, because we only have one indie comic. So we'll start with that. We have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Pink. This is the 5th issue. It's only 6 issues in total out of the whole run series. But one more way, it says, I was looking at Comixology, and it says it comes out at the end of this month. Not sure on that, because I don't know what the deal is with this. I think if it does, fine. I think this issue came out this Friday, because it came out Wednesday, my bad, because I think last month it did not come out, so that's why they're doing it. I guess they're doing it now, so I don't know if issue 6 will also come out this month. If it does, great, then the book ends. It ends, for me, it's like, ending it is good and not bad. For when it comes to miniseries, you know it's going to end at a certain point. What it does, it kind of helps you lower your load of comics you have to get, and lower the load of how much you have to, because this comic I don't have to worry about getting now, because I have a complete run of this series, and so I don't have to worry about getting in my script. It's not like a series that's going to go on for maybe like 30, 40 issues, or maybe even 100, depending on the comics. Like Detective and Action will go up to like the 800 issues, so if you've been getting it that long, up to you. But we're not here. What we need to go back to the story now. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That was a comic, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then they decided, hey, we're gonna do a series called Mighty Morphin Pink about the Pink Ranger, and the Pink Ranger is the original Pink Ranger, Kimberly. She left with 2 of the other Rangers left as well. The Black Ranger, Zach, and Tiana, the Yellow Ranger, they all left. Obviously, in the show, it was because of, the Black Ranger's black, or the Yellow Ranger is Asian, and then the Pink Ranger, I left for some reason, maybe because it was girl, pink, I don't know. But this is showing these Rangers, and then 2 other people who become Rangers. I don't know if they stay Rangers or what the deal is. I haven't last issue, because that's then it's probably going to be last issue, and they have to. Now, this issue ends, basically, I think, the story arc from almost the entire series. And if you're thinking this is issue 5, how does it end the whole story arc in one book? If there's another one, I will explain. The story arc is about Kimberly going to find her family because they didn't show up, and found out that this one guy who's working with Goldar, who works for Rita and Zed, and went off on with this other guy who can turn people into like these fist monsters people, and her parents were changed. She saw her mom change right in front of her dad was already changed or something, all these people, so he had to go and save her, and that's what the whole story about, her saving them, teaming up with this guy and the girl who she met in this town, and he trusts them enough to make them become Rangers, and they follow this stuff, and then at one point Goldar kind of turns on Goldar, so he helps him or whatever, and Goldar is kind of teaming up with the Pink Ranger, and they save the day in this issue, and everybody thinks back to normal. So why is there another issue? Well, throughout the story, there have been snippets that we've been getting of the Power Rangers that are in space in trouble, and we don't know what's going on. It's something to do with Rita or Zed. They having a fighting Rita or Zed or something, or one of the monsters, something off planet. And at the end of this issue, they are having problems, so they have to go and figure out in the next issue, it looks like go and help them. That's what the next issue is. That will be the final issue. What surprisingly, that's only one issue. It could have been, I don't know. It feels like I would like to see what they do, how they wrap it up in one issue. I feel like that could be a whole nother story arc. Like this could have been a story arc, that could have been a story arc. Maybe do more. I don't know. But for the 60 series, I do think it's worth getting. If you're getting the regular Power Rangers series, you're definitely going to want to get this one. If you like Power Rangers, I would also say definitely get this. If you do not like Power Rangers or don't know anything about Power Rangers, if you don't like Power Rangers, then you're probably not going to like the series. But if you don't have an opinion on Power Rangers or you're open to try this book, I would actually give it a shot. Same with my one Power Rangers, the actual series. I would go check out that one. That one is better than this one. It's a lot better than this one. Not saying this one's bad, but this one, I just think the regular series is obviously better. It's way better. But this one's super good as well. So that's it for my Power Rangers Pink. That's the only really indie comic came out. Next comic is indie / DC, because it's a crossover company comic, DC and IW. The second issue of Batman Team with the Adventures. This is where the Batman, the animated universe was really cool. If anyone knows, I love Batman animated series, so great. That universe, those characters, teaming up with Team Ninja Turtle from one of the new Nickelodeon cartoons that I've not watched much of, so I can't give you my opinion on that. But I like Team Ninja Turtles, so it's cool, and I crossover with them. They already had a crossover. We're gonna do another one, but this one with the cartoon versions, yeah. So this one, borders are popping up from both worlds, and I know I go like in this video. If I do that, I'm sorry, I somehow just do it when I talk, so if that's either a problem, it's gonna happen. I just sometimes do it, I can't help it. But in this issue we get to there's a lot of stuff that happens in this series, and I think it's really cool what they do. Combine the two universes, but we start off with Harley Quinn breaking out, basically the Joker and Sonya, and the last issue see him at the end, but now we can see how they broke out, and them escaping through this portal or whatever. It's cool to see that, and then we see him talking to Shredder and all that stuff about what's going on, and what the deal is, and kind of like saying, hey, you gotta walk with us, and then you gotta basically beat B-Rock and Rocksteady, and like, if you don't do what we say, we're gonna blow this place up, because there's a bunch of rubber chickens hanging from the ceiling, and they're the explosive kind, because we're dealing with the Joker and Harley Quinn, so obviously, you got to have your floating rubber chickens when you can, and basically something you have to walk for us, and da-da-da. We go back to Batman, and he is dealing with, Robin shows up, and also Batgirl, because Batgirl and Robin want a case together. And now they have to go and figure out what's going on with these villains, why are they escaping through these portals. And the Batman and them find a portal, and they go through it, or about to go through it. And then we got to the Team Turtle universe, where it shows them finding the portal, and they kind of like stick their hand in, and Michelangelo sticks his hands in, and it's like, oh, there's a gargoyle, and then like he punches him and all that stuff, and then Batman and Robin and Batgirl come over, and they have to, and they get into a fight. It was kind of cool to see them fighting, even though we know they're both good guys, and they know they're both basically gonna get on the same team. But it's cool to see them fight a little. And I like how Batman says, be careful, they might be hostile. And they have somebody throws one of the weapons at them, and they yeah, they're hostile. This is one of the books that's like, you think about stuff like this, and you think about this happening in comic, when crossovers like this happen, you're like, I never would have thought of this. Batman Team Turtles in the same comic. How would I ever thought of that? I don't think anyone would have thought that they would come, or stuff like this would ever come. But with DC doing it, it's really cool. Marvel, you need to step up your game. You need to get some crossovers in your belt. Not counting your old ones you did with DC. You need to do some other ones. Yeah, you did actually do some other ones. I think some Image ones. Maybe some Valiant ones or something. I don't know. But did some other stuff too. But it's okay, look at DC. And so it's basically them just fighting. And then eventually Batman and he's like, Leonardo's like, hey, you're throwing your punches. Hey, you're throwing your punches. Like, you're not hesitating pulling your punches. Like, you're not trying to really hurt you. And then they find out, they hear screaming. Like, we're on the same side, aren't we? Yeah. Then we get this big monster called the Snakeweed from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe. I don't know anything about, but they have to fight it. It's pretty cool. And then it's like, it's one of our villains. The Zombie we clean up. No, it's one of mine. And you see Poison Ivy controlling this thing, because this thing is basically a giant plant you can control. And that's where this issue ends, to be continued, and we get into the next issue. So let's go for the next issue. They're going to fight Poison Ivy. This is cool. This series is only going to be, I think, 6 issues? 6 issues. I'm looking to see if it has a thing that can tell me exactly no. Nothing a thing that told me. To my knowledge, this was a this is gonna be a 6 issue miniseries. Not too bad for only 6 issues. For a comic like this, it's not too bad. I just think it's really cool, and I hope you get to. I can't wait to read the next issue. Now, if you want to know the DC comic I got this week, and that is the Suicide Squad comic, issue number 8. There's a cool Jim Leon and stuff, and it is part of the Justice League versus Suicide Squad prelude to the event that's coming up next week. Will be the first issue comes out. So this issue we get the conclusion to the Going Sane Part 4 story arc, where they have to go and stop Zod from breaking out and stuff, and get June Moon out. So June Moon has now become the Enchantress and it's like, hey, we have a bomb in your head. You do what we say, and we help him. And everybody's going insane. Flag figured out how to stop that. He stabbed himself, so the pain kind of like makes it so it doesn't affect him. Like the pain's counteracting the effects of it. So how bad? So Flag being badass as always. And Harley Quinn is sane. She's not like insane. She's sane. It's weird to see that. In a comic, see her like actual normal, acting like a normal, kind of like a hero or normal in a sense, and it's cool. We find out more about actually about Captain Boomerang. He's not really dead. He's trapped in this thing, and they have to figure out a way to do something to get him out. He's like, do something out. I'll protect you. Just do something. Get me out of here. Protect me. And then they got to go, and all of them are trying to go to Mandawala to stop Zod. And because Zod is Zod, and he's a pretty tough guy. He can go toe to toe with Superman. So, and most of these guys, I'd probably say up to Superman's level. So that's kind of, think that as you will. Zod finally breaks out and basically figures out how to stop June Moon's, not June Moon's, that's her alter ego. The Enchantress is spelled by she makes this to where she can't breathe, so she can't cast spells and do shit. And screw up her day, and then he grabs Amanda Waller and it's like, it's basically about to kill her. Then Harley Quinn comes in and basically shocked the shit out of him. It's like, oh, and then we have Hack doing her thing combined with that. Just seeing Harley Quinn shock Zod, like actually doing damage to him. Because Harley Quinn is definitely not anywhere close to Zod's level, and just being able to do that is cool. And then we see Captain Boomerang coming into Zod, like coming into or whatever. Basically, Captain Boomerang brought back from the dead. And from my knowledge, I kind of knew this was going to happen because in some of the Justice League / Suicide Squad creator pictures they've shown, like saying, hey, look, this book's coming out. It shows Captain Boomerang in it, so kind of you teased that he was going to come back. And he's also one of those characters, he's a pretty popular member of the Suicide Squad. To me, he's one of the characters I feel like he's almost always part of the Suicide Squad. He's a pretty character. I like him in the Suicide Squad. He's one of the characters I think like should be in the Suicide Squad, like Deadshot. He needs to be in the Suicide Squad. He's like a staple for the Suicide Squad. So he's out of this thing, and he basically goes like to Zod, like, I beat you, you can't do anything, and Zod just falls on him, basically. Almost probably wouldn't be surprised if he killed him, but that'd be funny if he did. But then we get to see after everything, and he goes to thank Harley Quinn, and to be like, hey, Dr. Quazell or whatever, her name is, he's like saying to her, like, hey, thank you for all this, and like, and all this stuff, and then she finds out, yep, she's crazy again. But it was cool to see her as a regular person. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what's that to do with the Justice League? And that's the end of the book, end of the main story. What's that to do with the Justice League / Suicide Squad prelude? I thought we were getting a prelude. We are. That is the bonus story, because so far with the Suicide Squad book, we've been getting like a little bonus story, and that's what this one decides to do. This one was mostly the main story. There's a bonus story. It's not too much, so it'll be really easy for us to cover this. It's the Justice League / Suicide Squad prelude. It's called Warm Heart. It is written by the same guy who does the main story. Usually the bonus stories are written by the same person who's writing the main story, so that's cool. It's about Winter Killer Frost, who is Caitlin Snow, Dr. Caitlin Snow. From, if you watch Flash Snow, you know that someone like, you a bad guy in this universe? Because I watch Flash, and it makes me think of, I don't know, it's conflicting when you watch a show like Flash, when you see Caitlin Snow, I'm like, yeah, but I don't think of her as a villain, but now it's like, now I'm going to, every time I see Killer Frost, I'm going to think of her as a villain. But it's about her, they, are taking her to the Bellwave, the prison, where, all the villains go, and where the Suicide Squad and them goes. And she's going to become a member of the Suicide Squad. And to go through in her, telling everybody, like, they have these heat signatures so it doesn't walk whatever on the suits to protect them, flagging them, and katana. And he goes through and sees everybody's like heart, see if they're like, oh, cold, warm, and stuff, all the stuff. And it's like, I'll see what they kind of feel. And he sees he gets to go through everybody in the team and all that stuff. So it's just them talking basically about them as a team and see all the different moments of the team and everything. And as he goes to the last room, and he says that everybody, my daddy always said, everyone has a warm heart. Some just keep it buried deep down. My daddy was wrong. And it's Amanda Waller. That's so, like, he's such a badass. He's like one of the kicks like Batman, like, probably. Amanda Waller, it's weird, like, what consists of warm heart? Does that mean protecting people and all this stuff? I feel like C would have somewhat of a warm heart. But I don't know. It's a cool little story. It's kind of to give you into the and then ends with two big teams in Justice League. That's 2 guys who won. Come to next week. I hope I get that because next week all the comics are being got for me for Christmas to save me some money on comics. Because next week is like the week where compared to this week and next week are like the 2 weeks have the most comics. That one was pretty hectic, but not too bad. So yeah, pretty good. It is a little pretty saying, hey. She's going to be in the story arc, and then she's going to be in, I think, the event book. It's kind of like she's going to be part of this event, I think, has a more... but not bad for a little prelude. It is not much, really. You don't really need to read that to read, like, the rest of the act when Suicide Squad's, like, Justice League starts. I don't know how much the crossovers in these actual issues are going to weigh on the actual book. There's another issue of Suicide Squad that crosses over with this. 2 more issues of Suicide Squad. One of them is just that looks like a full crossover issue. The other one is the last one. The last issue in the crossover is the Aftermath. So cool to see what those and just the books are how they're gonna cross in. And it's gonna be fun to read the series. And it'd be cool if I get the whole run and all the crossovers and everything. Because it'd be one of the first time I do that. Because first of all, I love Suicide Squad. I'm reading it now, so I'm gonna be getting this book anyway. The Justice League Suicide Squad book is a miniseries featuring the Suicide Squad. Probably gonna. Why wouldn't I pick that up? It's kind of cool. And also Justice League. I actually like Justice League, but it's one of those books that I don't have enough money to get. If I had enough money to get every book I wanted, I would keep reading a lot more books. If I had more money, I'd be reading more books. And it wouldn't probably... Justice League wouldn't be on the list, but there's a lot of... It would be eventually on the list. If you go down deep enough, I could be on the next. But now we got to jump into the Marvel stuff because I have 3 Marvel comics. And one of them is the Grand Prix Holiday Special. And that has a lot of stories in it, and it's going to take me some time to go through it. So first we're going to do Jessica Jones. Issue 3 came out this week. The 3rd issue in the series. I freaking love the series. If you read the original series, you're going to like this one. It's by Brian Michael Bendis and has the original artist for the series as well. It's really cool. This 3rd issue shows, on the cover shows her and the Hydra symbol. And we open this up. This is a parental advisory, not for kids comic. It is one of the more mature comics they do. And it fits with this comic. This comic is mature if you've ever read it. Probably, I don't know if it will be as mature as the Max comic line. So far, I don't think they said like the F word or something unless it was censored. But it will be more mature, but I don't think they will put some stuff to censor it and keep it more censored. But it starts off with her, she was kidnapped in the last issue and stuff, and then we get to see her kidnapped, and we get to find out who kidnapped her. We have this villain, the Spot Lover, who just kind of goes in and like can teleport through, like open up these holes and stuff, and then he like bites him and says some stuff like say goodbye to your balls and stuff, like he's gonna destroy his balls. I'm like, she's one of the characters I like also, because this show is like he's a badass. He takes no shit, and you'll probably lose your balls. That's all I'm gonna say about that, because he does say some stuff like I'm gonna rip off your balls and stuff. It's like, it's fun. It's fun. Her like kind of like I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. I'll rip up your balls kind of stuff. It's funny and kind of helps with the book. Now you can see the person who's actually doing, who took her. Is somebody who seems to be, and so you act like, are you working with this, Hydra, all this stuff, and all the stuff, and kind of just them talking. For most of the books, there's not much that happens. But it also cuts to Luke Cage going back to her alias investigation, where her office is, and to go through like messages and stuff and finds out about the detective and stuff. And the detective comes in and then they start talking about, hey, I was on the phone with her, but then the kind of phone stopped, like somebody took her or something. And he's like, where? Because, Cage still likes her, or still likes her, or still likes her, you know what I mean? Even though something's going on between them and the baby and whatever, they still like each other enough. Like, he doesn't want anything to happen to her. He wouldn't, if she was about to die, he would be there, I think, in the end, because he does care for her. So it's just them talking about, are you Hydra, are you this, are you that, like, why do you want me, all this stuff. It's like, hey, I like you, I want you to kind of help me do some stuff. You don't like the heroes or whatever, like, kind of get on her side, because he, and I can already call this, is evil. I don't need to take you kidnap somebody, And you hire a supervillain to do it nonetheless, and this is evil. I think anybody can tell this chick is evil as they come. She definitely is not one of the people I'm like, I trust her. I think she's onto something. I think she's a nice person. No, I think we can, if you read this, you would be, no, she's evil as all hell, and it's fun. And that's kind of, we know she's evil, but she lets her go. I'm like, when the time comes, I'm going to need you to help me do stuff. And she breaks out, and that she's just across the street from her apartment / investigations office, because they're one the same. And she's caged there, and she's like, kind of like, goes off. And then but we continue, and it's kind of one of these. It's not bad. It does explain a lot, and I'm not probably doing the best of explaining it. But obviously, I read these in a couple of days. I read these probably way before I do these reviews, and when I do, I'm just looking for the comic, and I don't like to just read the comic and kind of be like, I'm not gonna reread the comic while I'm talking about it, and kind of like, oh, I need to look through it. I kind of go by pictures and stuff, and give you a general what I remember and talk about it. And also, if I do spoilers, it's gonna happen. I'm just talking about the comics, and there will be spoilers. Unless what I should have mentioned in the beginning, but there will be spoilers of me because I am going through talking about the comics to beginning to end. Because I talk about the comics, and I don't like to, since I want to be able to talk about the comic, and I feel like if I don't give you the spoilers, it's like, okay, how do I tell you what happens? Unless if it's something really important, I might leave it out. But if we're gonna continue, the last thing I want to mention with this comic is at the end it has this thing for next case 4. So then you just get down holding a camera. Okay, I'm using a new camera. Looks like it next to you. Cool. With case 4, because I'm like, you haven't even finished the first case yet. Or you kind of did. Or you don't know if you're up to case 4. You haven't done four cases yet. But I digress. We got 2 more books, and one's going to be the longest. Next, we got Dr. Grange, Dr. Grange and the Punisher, Magic Bullets, issue 1. This is a 4-issue miniseries. That's one of the reasons why I picked it up, because a couple of series of mine have ended. Going to be ending. Permanent Pain's going to end the next issue. Cage only has 2 more issues. I'm halfway through Death of Hawkman. I mean, there's a lot of comics that are really short. Deadman, once I get the next issue of that, there's only 1 issue left, and that's done. So it's like a lot of comics are going to be done, so I'm not too worried. A lot of miniseries are going to be done, not series. But let's talk with Punisher sneaking into this place to kill these guys because, like the mafia they're running a restaurant, and they walk from the mafia or thugs or something. That's totally not stereotype. But he goes in and just shoots everybody because he's the Punisher. He has to go in and shoot everybody. And I just wanted to look at this. This is a Teen Plus comic, obviously, because that's a Punisher in it, so it's going to be a Teen Plus comic. Not one that said parental advisory or anything, but it is 18 plus comic. So you will have some more violence. It just seems just shooting up people, and he shoots a couple pages him just shooting up people, and he goes down, and there's a door. It's like people are like, don't go to the door. Why aren't people going to the door? And he goes to the door and opening. He's like, shit, I'm gonna need some help because it's magic stuff, and that's not his jurisdiction. But then we cut to Dr. Grange, who's fighting a giant monster with it looked like he has a propeller and an engine for a hand. And a gun-like thing for a mouth, like an old plane, like on World War II or something. I think World War II. I'm not the biggest when it comes to that kind of stuff. Knowing, I think World War II. I'm not sure. Like an old plane with a gun that kind of goes around, and he has the wings and an old cap with a big spike on their head for a helmet. It's the coolest kind of design. I like it. And he has an axe, and he's going fighting this. And the thing about this is, when he's fighting these monsters or demons, or whatever you want to call them, he sees them perfectly fine, and he's fighting them, but when people see him, they don't see the monster, so they just see him fighting nothing, or jumping around and doing all this stuff. It's people must think he's the craziest motherfucker in this place, and sorry if I cuss, but he must think he's the craziest person, I'll be a guy going around hitting nothing, and jumping around doing all this shit, crazy person, but obviously some people probably do know who he is, like cops and stuff, or people enough to where they don't call cops or something. I don't know, but he does go and beat her and slices it because he's using an axe now. He goes around using an axe, chopping these creatures to bits. It's it's not good for you to know he's a little more violent at this time, and he's not afraid to kill these things. But most of these ones he's killing are evil. He's not killing the ones that aren't doing anything wrong. It's just the evil ones. And that's it. And then we go back to him going home. He's like, I'm sitting down, I'm gonna take a break, and then it's Zeta. Which Zeta? I feel like I'm gonna. Zelma? Zelma. If I'm saying that wrong, sorry. But her person he got to help her with the library and soul food stuff. I was coming. Can I tell? Like, come at the door. Somebody you need to come down and see. And it's like I don't want to do anything. I'm tired. I just kicked this monster's ass. I can have a break. And then he comes down. It's like, and then Wong's like, I'm sorry, it's not the best to let him in. It's like I'll see it before I collapse into a heap or whatever. It's kind of basically what he says. And then he's like, oh, it's the Punisher. It's like, oh, the Punisher. Of course you do. Yeah, it's like, of course you need my help. Doesn't everybody? And I was thinking about this when I was reading this, like, not counting big crossovers, blah, blah, blah. Has there ever been a Doctor Strange / Punisher crossover? I have not read one, and I can't think of any. Like one with just Doctor Strange and Punisher, not counting other characters from their universes, but just them, not like a Doctor Strange, Punisher, Ghost Rider kind of thing. What has multiple characters, just them. I don't know if that's ever happened. It probably has, just I've never read it. But if it hasn't, that's insane. They haven't crossed really over, done like a little crossover in an issue. Or something where one of them's guest appearing in the other. It's surprising that has not happened, but if it hasn't, we get to finally see it. And you get to tell him that you're telling him like all this shit's going down and we need to go and do this stuff, stop these things. Go back to the Playboy shop and the guy who's running it or whatever. The guy just wants to run the restaurant, like he's talking to this other person who's working with him. And then we go down and see there's all these monsters. We actually see them, okay, the monsters, they don't look too bad. They're just standing. I mean, they don't look like the friendly kind. They look like the ones that you might definitely want to chop off with that axe of yours. But then they get to where, the guy, one gets like a scientist who knows everything about the monsters and trying to do stuff. And then we go back to Dr. Strange, Punisher, and stuff at his house. He's seeing like all the magical weapons. He's like, I don't know. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing, Strange. It's like, come on, you spell stuff, you're getting all these items. Stuff. He's like, what the hell are you doing? He probably didn't know about the magic stuff, the last day of magic, and all that stuff with it all ending. And no people probably wouldn't know unless they're magic or something like maybe Captain America. Some of those people might know, but a lot of people probably don't even know about that. The desert magic thing, or like magic basically dead, and it's only in these items. Magic is really only in these items. It's a cool kind of way to do that. I think this new Doctor Strange. First it was like, oh, we have all this stuff. Now it's like, oh, it's only in these items. It's like, oh, we have an axe. Hey, yeah, not at all. And he's like, you have an axe. Do you have a problem with that? Not at all. And he goes with the gun. And he's like, they keep trying to hand the gun to him, but in a couple scenes, and then they get like a taxi and stuff and tell him like, hey, they're on the way. Then the guy uses the spell to create these monsters and makes them even worse. And does it it looks like it affects the monsters and the people there now get affected. And the one guy with the eye patch goes outside, basically gets shot. Who was in there? He goes in like, nope, and nope the hell out of there. And he just goes outside, and he immediately goes outside, and then he like turns and he gets shot. And it's like he keeps trying to give a gun to Punisher, like, hey, you want a gun? It's like, no, I don't do that. I said that's not how I do things. I'm a good guy. You think he would know that, but I guess not. Hey, let's try. And the plate blows up, and we see these monsters look like fused with the people, and some stuff's gonna go down the next issue. And then to be continued. That one ends with these monsters about to attack them, and fine. This is 4 issues. I don't know. I'd like to see where this goes, because it feels like this could be something that could be sent up in more than 4 issues. It's like 2, maybe. I don't know. So I'd like to see where this book goes for 4 issues, and I am getting Punisher regularly. Not getting Dr. Strange though. That's the one that would be on my list. Eventually, but I'm getting Punisher regularly. That's why I decided to pick this book up. It's only going to be 4 issues. So 4 months, I'll be able to have this complete. Not too bad. Now you move on to the final, the big purchase for this week, the most expensive comic, next to the Dr. Strange / Punisher book, where it was a $5 comic. Surprisingly, it was $4.99. Like one day, $5.99 comic is $6. It's the Gwenpool Holiday Special. Maybe mix up issue 1. I'm like, this book is a pricey book. Like this book is like, it's not bad for like how much you're getting and all. In reality, it's not too bad. $6 is not. Basically, you're getting 2 issues for that price. Basically, when I think about it, it's like it's almost, you could say you're basically only getting 2 issues with this price. $6 and getting about 2 issues worth. That's not too bad. So we're gonna open this up, and the cover shows like a little bit of everybody. Gwenpool's in this, obviously, because it's the Gwenpool Holiday Special. We have Punisher, Deadpool, my list, Spider-Man, and Red Skull. And then we open it up, and it's just like saying all the characters. Also, you get to see Galactic and Fing Fang Foom. Fing Fang Foom's in this, and he's in this actually more than you think he would be. And we end up, and the first story is about Gwenpool. We're talking about the holidays, and like they're talking about all these holidays. It's talking about like what is Christmas and all this stuff because they don't know what Christmas is. And basically, Galactus is like Santa Claus and all this shit, and all the holidays for change. We have like Thanksgiving and all this other stuff. It's like all the holidays for change. And Gwen's like, no, they're not, because he's from a different Earth and all this stuff, so it doesn't really affect us. He like knows stuff from her Earth, and he knows what those things are. And he can't really change her because changing the character in this universe, he's from another universe, and he knows, and they can't change. It's not changing that side of her. Like he knows stuff from Earth, from basically the real Earth, the Earth well, all the comic book characters he's hanging out with now are just comic book characters in her words. They're all just fiction, and he's hanging around with them. It was kind of cool. I don't know if it ever showed how he got to this world. Did it ever show that? I actually would like. That'd be a cool way to see how he came from this world to that world. Don't know if it showed that, but I'd like to see that. But we're digressing. All the different holidays and things stuff, and they start hanging nice and figuring out stuff. And then he's like, okay, and he hears something in the song, and I was like, I need to go check this out. I think I know what's going. So it's also in a snowmobile going to the North Pole to find Santa Claus. Because, you know, when you're doing a holiday festival, you have to have Santa Claus. He's like, almost every holiday festival, so like, we're doing a holiday festival. We need to be Santa Claus, and we need to make him real or stuff. But they go, and actually in our universe, I think he is real, and I wouldn't be surprised. Like, we have people who can shoot magic, gods, people who devour planets, and Santa Claus is so far out there. Like, Santa Claus is just a fairy tale. Like, fairy tales actually exist, and you know, we have Norse gods, people who, like I said, devour planets. We have magic use like Doctor Strange, like the Fantastic Four. We have a solar system with tons of different planets, with tons of different species of animals, like the Shi'ar, and Santa Claus is outrageous. Like, nope, Santa. But getting back to the story, because I like to get off on stuff sometimes, get off on topics, and kind of like go off on things and whatever. At the end, with to be continued later in this fable, it kind of like gives you like, okay, this is the starting of the Gwenpool thing, and then it stops. Then we move on to the Spider-Man story arc comic, the little comic. There's a couple pages each. This one's called I Saw Spidey Kissing Galactus, the Bearer of Gifts. Like taking upon I Saw Spider-Man Kissing Santa Claus. It changed to I Saw Spider-Man Kissing Galactus, and then instead of Galactus, the Battle Awards is Galactus Bringer of Gifts. Well, I actually like this. It's making fun of that. This is amount of Spider-Man I have not read a lot of with him, but I do know enough about him to be like, yeah, I do enjoy this, and I like how Galactus is like basically like Santa Claus. I think that's kind of funny. And then so Fing Fang Foom appeared, and he's like, yeah, I have to do something in this because it's Fing Fang Foom, a giant monster from Japan who was sealed away and stuff, and he has to fight him. Yeah, I know a little bit about Fing Fang Foom, at least his origin issue. And so some fighting, and he actually wins, surprisingly, because he shouldn't. I'm not saying he shouldn't win, but Fing Fang Foom was definitely not something I think my list would have to. I would say could maybe do it, but I think it needs help or do something. And then, like, Red Skull, Thanos, and who's the other guy? MODOK show up, and they're about to fight him, and then, I don't know, guess you what shows up. Galactus, for this kind of thing, he's gold. It's like a gold and like a light blue thing. It's kind of cool to see him with different colors on, other than the big, you know, the purple and the purple. And then he basically makes all the other villains go away, like kind of like yells them to her, like, oh no, shit, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Like a guy who devours planets, even though he doesn't in this, he's completely like he could step on him and kill him. Like he has a lot of powers. And we get back home, and he's like, Galactus, and nobody believes Galactus is real. And for the record, it just showed a giant guy who's like 40 foot tall. He's like the size of buildings, tall buildings in like New York, and he's like, nobody saw that shit? Like nobody went like, hey, so yeah, we're all gone because of the attack, and we all just left, and like, what about Reed Richards and all them meeting with Galactus and all that stuff? That stuff changed, what's that different? I don't know. There's so many questions with this stuff. Just changing like the holidays. For somebody, they're changing like the whole Marvel universe and stuff. It's like, oh my god, so it's him at home. It's like, nobody believe me, and everybody thinks I'm crazy. But Galactus at the end gives him a bunch of presents, and it has a galactic guide to good pals called Code 1 of 15. At the very bottom it says, hello, good news, I'm technically in this story now, because the bottom of the card says Gwenpool. I like that little nod there on that end. Now, what this book is doing is, we have the Gwenpool story that's saying, hey, look, all these, what starts off with saying, like, hey, all these holidays are messed up or different, and Gwenpool's like, they're messed up, and they were like, no, they're fine. But then we actually get to see the next couple of little stories based on those holidays, or actually based on things with this news with the holiday changes. That's what these are. The first one was about Galactus and about Christmas and Galactus and stuff. The second one is about Pansgiving. Happy Pansgiving. Yes, Pansgiving is a thing. Now we can be like, yep, there once was actually a thing called Pansgiving in the Marvel Universe. Surprisingly enough. About people wearing like these short pants and stuff. It's like I don't know. It's just weird, but we're talking about comic books where things like two giant universes, like the Ultimate Universe and the regular universe, planets like imploded into each other. So really, who am I to judge with these? And also, this actually is Gwenpool, so it is kind of more on the Deadpool side of things in a sense. So I can see the weirder type of things. And Gwen's just the one girl who owns like the costume shop and everything. Brings forth like does a spell or whatever, because he actually seems to have powers, and brings Fing Fang Foom into the city and starts wrecking house. And I'll leave Punisher's in the hospital for some reason. I don't know how. They like got like Punisher in the hospital because he has like a skull and everything. Like he's basically the Punisher and he's in the hospital. You think he's not the kind of guy they would let in the hospital, but whatever. And he goes out and starts the fighting. And here's the thing, Punisher fighting Ring Ring Ring. He shouldn't win, I don't think, because he's like completely a different character. But the way how it works, and he beats him and he finds out who did this, and he's like, it's not about this. Thanksgiving, it's not about this, that, the other. Like, giving the speech, like, this is not what the holidays are really about. It's about giving, caring, and having all your friends and all this stuff. And he gives, like, one of the shopping messages. And so everybody getting pants. So it was like, like, so stuff like getting pants to somebody. My Spider-Man getting pants. We see Tony Stark putting on pants. It's all the stuff. It's like all kind of stuff. And Punisher. At the end, with Punisher getting a pair of pants, I see him like in the mirror looking at him like, this fucking holiday. Great way to end. And then it says the War on Thanksgiving. This is funny. It's a book I think was more funny. Like it's not supposed to be serious really, but it is actually kind of. We'll get to it. Next, we get to the last story, a kind of last story. It's the last story before we get back to Gwenpool. It's featuring the Red Skull, and it's about him and like saying Hell Hydra and all this stuff. And it's like, nope, we don't say Hell Hydra anymore. We say Hell Hatred because for some reason we had to change it. We can't do Hydra because all these other things kind of use it or whatever, and we can't do it anymore. And the one guy said it was like, dude, like the one guy who walks in like all things says, hey, we can't use this anymore. But surprising because you think I thought always Red Skull was the leader, and he was like the guy who's like, I'm gonna call the cops. There's actually a council or whatever who does all that stuff. And the guy was funny. Is there's Hawkeye, like he has him there tortured or whatever, and they're singing, and they like Red Guy shocking him and all this stuff, and it's fun. And the thing in this comic book says, oh, and then go fuck yourself. That's basically what he says. Yeah. Oh, if you didn't know, this might have cussing in it. I wasn't planning. I didn't know if I was going to cuss in this, but now it's like, I'm going to cuss. I've already done it a couple times. I did it once, and I did it twice, and then it just happened. So if you don't like this, get out. But now, really one of those things I was like, it's a holiday special. What do I expect to see in my holiday specials about Christmas and like kind of Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving kind of close to Christmas, so it makes sense. Hitler. Because when I think of holiday specials, Christmas holiday specials, I think Hitler. We need Hitler in our holiday specials. Give him a nice big, I want a Hitler holiday special. Why don't we get that? But it actually is, and it kind of makes sense because it's like they're doing the ghost of Christmas past and everything, doing all that instead of just one ghost. And it's Hitler because he's a friend of actually since Red Skull's a Nazi and they were friends and stuff. It makes a little bit of sense. Like if it was going to be a friend with him, that does make sense in a way, and it shows him going through and showing you like, hey, this is back when we did this thing and we actually stole like the Pope. Well, I didn't know that was a thing. And it shows them and it said, oh, Hell Hydra wasn't a thing, like you know this and all this stuff. It wasn't actually a thing, and it's not really, and saying like, hey, it doesn't matter if you sell Hell Hydra or whatever. It doesn't matter what you say, it's about what you do and all this stuff. Giving another time, that's what's cool. At the end we see the Avengers have attacked and captured all the Hydra agents and have him captured. For I don't know why, because to my knowledge they weren't doing anything in this book. It didn't show them like attacking anything. Maybe a little bit in the beginning, but I don't know. But that was cool. It's also let me get back to Gwenpool. Now back to the Gwenpool story. And now the Gwenpool story is continuing where we left off. She's up in North Pole, and she finds a giant monster. She kills it. Goes in, barges into Grandma, into Santa Claus's little house, and it's a real little house, like surprisingly. That's all the North Pole is in the DC, in the Marvel universe, just that. It's like, there's no, like, a thing for the reindeer, and a thing for the elves. You think there would be. Like, how does he do it? It's like there's magic, yes, but it's like, holy, you can't even fit all the presents. I don't know. He probably should have, like, with a gun and two swords and like all this stuff. Like, I'm gonna shoot some shit up, and like Santa had the giant axe, and like, I mean, you wouldn't see any about like it seems like sweet Christmas. Like, what the hell's going on here? Like, Santa trying to kill me. It's like, oh, sorry, Gwen. Sorry, Gwen. I didn't know it was you. And he actually knows. It's like, wait, you know it's me? It's like, oh wait, yeah, you do. So exactly what the problem is, because Christmas was like, what's wrong with Christmas? I was like, oh, I changed everything. Are you finding that because I want like a break? Because I mean, even though it is a once a year thing, you do kind of doing it every year. You might get tired of it. You might want to do something else. You might want to take a break. So I'm totally fine with it. But we actually get to see then he tells him like, hey, it screwed up all the other holidays. But then he was saying something about like, hey, on like, then he was saying like, hey, on New Year's or whatever the holiday is, I forget exactly what it was called. He said like, you get to see somebody you love get to come back as a ghost or whatever. He said you get to see your parents. Do you want to on the 10th day of Christmas, okay, whatever, that's not what I was thinking. That was something different. But then it goes back to them at the place, him having fun with all these guys. Like, all these guys who are in Gwenpool's, like, things that they took over from Mordoc's one, really, I don't know if I would consider them bad guys. Like, they're doing, like, whatever they do for money, but it's like, I wouldn't consider them bad guys, actually. Like, kind of in that, like, Deadpool thing, where, like, Deadpool was kind of like he was a bad guy, he did bad things, but he also was a good guy kind of thing. Gwenpool, I think, is a nice person. He wouldn't just go around, and kill, like, little kids, or, like, he also do whatever thing. I like how it ends, it says in the Globe, Gwenpool going on with Santa, doing all the present stuff. It was a cool little story, so you're like, hey, it's Christmas and all the holidays got screwed up, and then what Santa Claus did it. Santa Claus was like, fuck all the holidays, fuck Christmas. I'm tired this year. I wanna just relax this year. I don't have to worry about shit. I don't want to worry about cause you have to get presents for every little kid, and then I got to give coal for the little crappers who don't know what the shit they're doing. It was a great story, and I like to go off on stuff like that and do stuff. One, to make it to be funny. If you think it was funny, I don't know if you think it was funny. Are you laughing? Probably not. And this is a weird thing because I'm doing this by myself. Eventually, maybe we'll get more people to do this with. But as of right now, we're doing this by ourselves. I'm doing it by myself. Eventually, maybe we get some more people on. Be on our podcast, whatever. Now we get to, like I said, Deadpool. Where was he? Because I mentioned him in the beginning. And this is where we get Deadpool, the Muck with the Mouse, and he's doing this thing, like we have little Deadpool here, doing his thing, saying like, hey, this is a holiday festival, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is a festival, and it's like, wait, and it's like, wait, this, and you find out this is not a holiday special, it's a Halloween comic. It's like, wait, it's supposed to be a Christmas thing? Like, and he's like, no, this is a holiday special. It said holiday special. It's a holiday, and it's special, or I'm special or something. It's like, well, that actually makes sense because of the fact that, like, yeah, this is a holiday special. Doesn't obviously mean Christmas. They did a Thanksgiving one, was kind of to Thanksgiving, and they talked about the other holidays. So why couldn't they do? Why can't they do this just a holiday special and just have holiday related comics? They don't want it to be Christmas related because eventually you run out of Christmas ideas or Christmas toys. There's always someone you can tell, but it's cool to see Deadpool. Like, he opens the door because somebody knocks at it, and it's what's kids trick-or-treating. One of them definitely looks like a Zubat. One's Iron Man, and the other one's a zombie, I guess, whatever. And he's, like, in his underwear, like, you can see, like, all his body's exposed, and, like, see all the sores, and how he looks all fucked up, and he's only wearing the mask. It's funny, and he's like, oh, that means he's about to give him some stuff, and it's like, yeah, there's a bunch of like a rotten apple. It looks like made some bullets, Raiders, and all stuff that you shouldn't be giving to kids. And he just goes and eats it. It's like, that's Deadpool for you. And they call it Deadpoolween. Like, yeah, it's about him going around playing tricks on people, doing, the Deadpool thing. And he finds out there's a costume contest for Deadpools, and he tries to enter it. And it's run by the unbeatable Squirrel Girl is running it. And then then he has to like take a number. He's number 2 and stuff. He's saying how everybody else is like, nobody else is that good. Why does everybody else suck? And the one little squirrel, Chippy or whatever, who works for the who it's kind of like her sidekick, whatever little squirrel things he has around her. Scrippy, whatever. The little boy, whatever, the real little boy goes up and like steers her this villain or something. And he goes and says something to her to save the day. And he saves the day. And it's like, oh, hey, you saved her. And the guy gets attacked by a bunch of squirrels. And then we find out at the end here that and then we find out that he wait win. Like, what do I win? That's all I win? What? That was stupid. And it's like, then Rogue comes in. And it's like, Wade comes in to like find Wade. Like, hey, we need you at the sushi or whatever, the mansion or whatever. Like, no, I'm Wade. Like, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're Wade. You can't win. You contest you the real Deadpool. That's not fair. And he gets he's like, well, what do I win? And it's like minimum effort, a little prize button thing, which says minimum effort, and him kicking like a jack-o'-lantern. Man, and he's like, man, fuck Halloween. It's fun. If you like Deadpool, you're gonna enjoy it. I think if you don't like Deadpool kind of type of humor, I know some people don't. I think it's fun. I do like Deadpool style of humor. I do like it. It's fun. I thought it was a fun little story, even though it wasn't a Christmas story. It was fun, and that's it. Now at the end of the book, it says the full comics, like that are coming on sale, I think next week or the next couple weeks, and they're all based on characters who win the story, like Gwenpool issue 9, Spider-Man issue 9. Spider-Man's the same came out the same. Spider-Man issue 9 was about Miles Spider-Man. Punisher issue 7 and Deadpool issue 4 all had stories or mini stories in this book. That's the end for this book. That is the Gwenpool Holiday Special. Merry Mix-Up issue 1. There was a Gwenpool special last year or something. It was, I don't know what it had to do with it, but I do want to eventually get that and read it because that's one of the only Gwenpool books I don't have. And if you count the Zero issue, was basically I think just the stories from the Howard the Duck issue. I'm not sure. I think they were. Not 100% sure, but let me get those. And that's it for this episode of the Rebirth Now cast. Now Rebirth cast? Rebirth Now, the Rebirth Now cast. We talk about comic books. I know it says Rebirth Now in it. And with indies, since there's so many, it's hard to do something. So I decided to call it the Rebirth Now cast, where we talk about comic books like on a weekly. So I hope you guys enjoyed this thing where I talk about the comic books I love in a longer format. And I know a lot of people probably aren't going to watch this, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoy this. And don't know how long it's going to be, because this is the first time doing it. It's probably going to be, looks like it's going to be like about an hour. I've been recording this for about an hour, so that's kind of cool. This will be one of the longest videos I've done ever, so it will be fun. I don't know when I'm going to upload this to. Probably not iTunes or anything yet, unless it's not going to be like this is a podcast, it's going to go up on iTunes. No, I'm not that popular enough. I mean, the ways you could probably do it to where I could get it there, but I feel like I want to have other people, and before I do that, I have other people on this. Whatever. This is also just to test this to see how this works. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video of me talking about new comics. You guys can always stay epic, and I'll see you in the next cast, the next podcast, the next episode of the DC of the... I don't have the name down pat yet. I just thought of it off the cuff before I started this video, so be slacking if I'm not knowing it 100% off the top of my head. The Rebirth Now cast is going to be awesome. It is awesome. You should be listening to with your ears. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. You can always stay epic, and I'll see you in the next Rebirth cast. Rebirth Now cast. Bye. Screwed up again. But bye. That's the end of the podcast. Bye. Bye-bye.